Hey, Dave Knight here, 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. 10 minutes. Let's have a little talk. You know I'm not the most stable person in the world. And as Kip has pointed out on many occasions, you don't have the emotional to be a day trader. Well, that's a true statement. And I'm the first to admit that I have a lot of issues that I have to deal with. But that's also a main reason why I put myself in a place that reduces my risk to the point where I feel I can trade and hopefully overcome the demons that plague my trading and my life as a day trader. I don't feel this way when I'm trading on a longer term scale plan. But in a day trading environment, how did I fail the last funded account? The last pro funded account? Well, I went into it thinking what I wanted to do was risk 50 ticks and go for 100 ticks. I was willing to risk 50 for 100. So I was trying to get to $3,000. That was my goal. Unfortunately, on day one, fortunately, I was able to make a little bit on day one. But the other days that I traded, I lost the 50 ticks, close to it. And I think another day I got close. Anyway, so long story short, I lost a lot more. And maybe it wasn't the right way of approaching the funded, but what I was trying to do was take away a lot of the indecision in my trading. Because there was a day that I had 5 trades. And I know I'm pressing too hard. I can tell you for a fact I pressed way too hard on this last funded account, this last pro funded account. And I only have myself to blame. I always place the blame back at me on my own trading. I'm not making excuses for my poor trading. If I take 24 trades in a day when I only need to be taking 3, the fingers come back to me. I understand that point. Trading is not easy. It is been said it's the easiest, hardest money you'll ever make. And my temperament sometimes is not the best. So there's times in my life that I have extreme confidence, and there's times in my life where I don't have a lot of confidence in what I can do. And I just keep on. I can't stop myself from getting up and getting away from that trading environment. But I love it. I love trading. And I love the challenge of day trading. And I love the challenge of trying to better myself. The most fun I had as a human being was I was coaching little kids and helping them improve in their environment. And to this day, to hear the word coach come out of some of the kids now that are young men now, say that to me is some of the heartwarming, just good stuff that comes. And that's because I'm passionate. I'm passionate about things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about football, coaching, trading. I'm passionate. And that passion sometimes is a double-edged sword. Because since I'm so passionate about things like this, the other side of that is that, I can take things to heart right now, so I know that I have a good methodology as it comes to approaching trading. Key point here, when I'm in control of myself. So here's what I wrote down recently after I failed the last the pro-funded account. And I called it 3 Trades. I wrote it on October 15th, yesterday. And I entitled it 3 Trades. And I wrote know when to quit. So here's what I wrote. 3 Trades rule. No more than 2 at the open at 8 a.m. CST. No more than 2 trades. Save the 3rd trade for an HVB, which stands for high volume bar, on a losing or break-even day. On a winning day, trade 4 to 5 trades. 4 to 5 trades can be available, but you must have enough profit to still be above break-even after placing the trades on. 3 losses in a row, stop trading. I've toyed with how many trades is enough for a long period of time. I've been a top step trader for many times. Kip said on another, is this 10 times you've been in? I think honestly, Kip, it's 12. I think I've been funded 12 times over 5 years. That's something that's a pretty good accomplishment, right? But the other side of that is, would I have been better off opening up my own futures account? No. I wouldn't have been better off opening up my own futures account and trading it. I just lost the real money there. Why? Because the emotional control that I need to have. I'm in the right place for me. For me. If I felt extremely confident that I could open up that futures account in a day, as a day trader. Now, I don't day trade right now at all. Real money. Just won't do it. I only day trade at Top Step Trader, and I only day trade the crude oil market. Why have I only picked one market? Because I firmly believe unless you have to master one market at a time. And crude oil is one of those markets that is a quick rewarder of those that don't have a lot of patience. And it's also, unfortunately, a quick disappointer of those that don't have a lot of patience as well. So where where all of my issues come from, all of my trading issues, is not being able to walk away on a losing day. I will go as close as I can possibly get to that 50 tick off the 30K account at Top Step Trader. I've proven this over and over and over again, that I don't have the emotional stability and wherewithal to stop on a losing day. Although one of my best areas that I had over the summer, I think I was in 27 days in pro funded account. So I survived longer in the pro funded account than I've ever survived, or in the funded account than I've ever survived before over the summer. I think I was in almost 30 days of real trading in the pro funded account. And it took me about a month to get back, and it took me like 5 trading days or 6 trading days to lose this last one, because I just went, unfortunately, balls to the wall. And I deserved what happened to me. So here's some information I wrote down here, and maybe this will help you. It's 1 page worth of information, and I wrote down the most valuable information that I know after 5 years at Top Step Trader. And here's some key points for you. Best HVBs, high volume bars, are above 2,000, and I prefer to fade them if possible. Realize where you are trading in relation to the pivot point. My sweet spot has always been from pivot point to S1. When we're trading pivot point to R1, I can still take a fake out, but it's a lot harder for me to win those days, especially days that get above R1. utilize all my trading signals against the market. Do not fade into an up move until volume shows the way. Right there is probably one of the most key words of wisdom that I can share with you. When you have a market that's tilted like this, going up, and you're fading into it, that's the quickest way I know to get into the poorhouse. It's also the quickest way I know to lose your pro funded account or any account that you got, especially here at Top Step Trader. And my last point that I wrote down, I said, remember, it takes time to change direction of the market most days. So if the market is going up most days, that market's going up, it's not going to turn around until probably a couple hours into that trading session. And a lot of times, I mean, so what I'm getting at is that if I'm willing to risk 2 trades at the open and those 2 are losers, most likely the market is going up because I'm shorting that market, right? So I need to be a lot more patient on that 3rd trade. But what happens is I jump that 3rd trade and then I jump the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and next thing I know, I'm down 50 ticks on the market. And all I do is look at last week into this week and how the market was down and then it started to proceed a little bit up and meander in this little area like that. I don't know what it did today. I haven't looked. But today I was fighting with Top Step Trader, and the voice of reason, James, reached out to me today. So I'm hoping that we can resolve this and I can pull some of the video content down. That you know, I sometimes I'm the passionate person I am. You know, what you got to understand is I'm fighting for you and for me. I'm fighting for me, but I'm really fighting for you as well. Because I've told the traders that follow me to go to the pro funded account because of the $99 reset. And they just took the carpet and they pulled that out from underneath us with no warning. You know, it's just, and this is going to be racist, but what we called that when I was a kid is being an Indian giver. And I apologize, but that's how I feel about it right now. You know, and we would, you know, cross-legged, right? We talk sitting Indian style. All the things that I learned as a kid, you know, and that's not a really good connotation of a saying right there, to be quote unquote an Indian giver, right? So, in other words, what did they do? They offered something and then they just pulled it out without letting anyone know that they were going to do this. That's not the way to work with people. Really, it's not the way to work, especially with people that are trying their damnedest to be successful as a trader. You know, I'm passionate about a few things in life, and day trading has been extremely difficult for me, although I've had some really good areas in trading. But I've read some of those rules. You can go back through it and listen to the wisdom that I shared with you today. There's some good points that I just shared with you today as a trader that has struggled to make it to the finish. Well, I made it to the finish line, but to stay at the finish line and continue to move forward. I hope this helps you in some small way. And Kit, man, sometimes I wish you would take 10 seconds before you'd respond. No, maybe count to 10. And then people that I care about out there, Adam, I could care less what he says. And all his alts, go for it. But the people I care about, before you do that keyboard commando at me, take 10 seconds and be constructive on your criticism. I know my faults. I know what makes me tick, and I also know what and why I do what I do. And that's why I struggle, and that's why I try so hard to be a better trader every day. And the good news is, Zig Ziglar said it better than I could say it. Failure is an event, not a person. There's a lot of wisdom in that. Just because I fail doesn't mean I'm a loser. It just means that I've got to overcome more in my life. All right, Dave Knight here for 123 Day Trade. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Heart to heart, especially to Kit.